Welcome to another episode of the Two for One podcast. I'm your host, Dion, and my fellow co host is alongside me here on a Monday night, joining me live from the most densely populated state in America, the one, the
Hell
only,
yeah.
Nate Taylor. Nate, after the Knicks decided not to hang a banner for winning the NBA Cup this year, have your thoughts changed on the matter at all? I believe you were originally anti banner.
Yeah, I was kind of anti-banner, then they didn't do the banner, and now I'm upset that they didn't do the banner. Um, Tells you a lot about just the average NBA fan. I don't think I'm the average NBA fan, but yeah, I guess feelings change after certain things happen. I think it more sucks for the NBA Cup as a whole because I want the NBA Cup to mean something, and it's less of me as a fan, more so me as a basketball fan, just wishing that they kept the trend up because as time goes on, these banners will mean something. The longer that the tradition continues, the more of a staple it will become in NBA history. So I think in hindsight, like 10 years down the line, the Knicks are going to regret not hanging a banner,
Yeah, I
even
have
if
a
they
feeling
do
they're going
win
to
a
be.
championship.
I have a feeling they're going to be the only team that doesn't have one up
Probably.
10 years down the line, which maybe, I don't know, maybe that'll add a little bit of lore to the NBA
The
Cup.
other thing, though, that I read from people close to the Knicks was that it was James Dolan just kind of giving a fuck you to Adam Silver because
Right,
those two do not get along at all.
right.
But yeah, I think it's whatever. I'm focused on hopefully watching them raise one in June, anyways.
Yeah, hopefully they do. But yeah, I just think it's just a little silly because like they got if you have division champ banners up there, you should have the NBA Cup banner up there at the end
Yeah.
of the day. So and they got a ton of other
Actually,
stuff up
although I
there.
do think division champ is kind of more meaningful, but that's a whole nother
Yeah,
conversation.
not in the
That's a,
NBA. I don't know, but yeah, we'll save that for another day. Today's episode, I said I wanted to hold off an extra week because sure enough, nothing has happened transaction wise in the past week or so. But with about 90% of the league now eligible to be traded, I figured we'd spend today's episode just going over some mock trades that you and I have come up with. We both got a handful of them here, but I'll let you get us started. Whatever trade that you came up with that you're
oh,
most
you want
excited
me? I
about.
thought you had one you were burning to get off of your
Oh,
chesticle.
I do, but I figured
Do
I'd give
it.
you the floor.
Go. I
All
don't
right,
care.
cool,
I
cool,
think
cool.
you should. I think you should take the reins on this one.
So I actually don't like this trade from the sense that I don't hope that it happens, but I think
Hello,
it
everybody.
makes
Welcome to the
sense.
podcast where we talk about trades we don't actually like and don't think
Okay,
are
the
going to
reason I
happen.
don't like it, if you had let me continue there, is because it's the Lakers getting better.
Oh, okay.
So
If
one
this is
thing
the same trade that I have, I'm going to be a little annoyed.
interesting. Well, tell me who they're trading with.
Is it a small guy from another team in California?
No, it's not actually, but I'm
Okay, all
interested in
right.
what you had in
Then never
mind.
mind. It's
No,
not
it's
actually
actually
small. But go.
we'll see. It's a trade with the Windy City. The Chicago
Okay.
Bulls are getting involved here. So I have Kobe White and Ayo Dosunmu getting the Lakers some backcourt help, essentially in exchange for that draft pick that the Lakers have. So the 2031 draft pick, and then you use Gabe Vincent, Maxi Kleber, and Dalton Knecht to get their salary wise. I don't know if that's enough for the Bulls, but I really like it for the Lakers. They obviously desperately need just some sort of life in the backcourt. Like I just don't think Luka and Reeves is going to be able to carry you through 4 rounds as far as your backcourt goes. So I like that deal a lot. I just don't know if it's enough for the Bulls to pull the trigger. They'd have to probably just not be convinced that they want to bring him back, Kobe
I
White.
think you're insane. I think the whole reason that you would trade Kobe White potentially is because Io has looked like the better fit so far in the total games played this season. He's been really impressive. He's looked like more of a ball handler that we saw coming out of college when him and it was Kofi Cockburn, right? Was
Yeah,
his name? Yeah, when
Coburn.
he was playing the point in Illinois. And I think Io is one of the big reasons why I'd be okay if they did trade Kobe White. I actually have a different Kobe White trade. Maybe I'll bring that up next just to keep the conversation going. But the Lakers are that's highway robbery for LA.
Okay, fair. I'm just thinking because they're
What
both on
what
expiring.
2031 pick is that?
It's their own pick. It's the only one they have tradable, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, that's so yeah, I'm not dying to get a 2031 pick when they have Luka Doncic for the next 5 years.
Yeah, maybe it is too much. Maybe it's just Kobe White for the salary and the pick. But if I'm the Lakers, I don't know if I'm giving up that one tradable pick just for Kobe White. Because really,
Just Kobe White is a very good player. I know
I know,
he
but
like the
like for the
fit.
Lakers, like I really wanted it for Io because he would be kind of just like an actual perimeter defender that's not horrible on offense. Shout out to Marcus Smart.
He's not
So
he's more like this season he's been legitimately a very good offensive
that's
player.
what I'm saying. No, I'm saying like they only have Marcus Smart as far as perimeter defense, and obviously he's a nothing offensively. So I really wanted to do this deal for Io. So maybe I don't know. Maybe you could just go Io
Okay,
Dosunmu.
actually, you're right. I guess that's more uncertain because his deal expires after 28, 29. I thought it was
Oh, there you go.
it was only a 3 year extension or whatever it was. Okay, whatever. His contract's done in 29 after the 29 season.
Oh yeah, he did only
Um,
sign the 3 year deal. You're right. So yeah,
so
that 31 pick could definitely be something, and maybe you
no,
could just
yeah,
have some
I
protection
wouldn't
on it.
be.
But
I guess I wouldn't be willing to give that up then for Kobe White because if you end up wagering if you do lose Luca, then it's like, holy shit, you gave up your first round pick for a potentially bad team. Um, for Kobe White, who's a good player, but
It's a
yeah,
risky deal on both sides, but
yeah.
I think
I
that's
don't
what
think
makes it so
that. Yeah, I
enticing.
think that's too risky for both sides. I don't really see much of a benefit um to the Bulls other than because the Bulls at least have most of their first rounders. I'm pretty sure the Bulls have every single one
Yeah, they own
of
all
their
their picks.
future
Yeah,
first rounders. So getting another one would be really good depending on what the Lakers end up doing. But let's say that Luka stays and it's just a late first. I don't want to get rid of Io, and I'm not dying to get rid of Kobe unless it's like I still value Kobe to the point where I'm not just trading him for any deal. And while I think that pick is valuable, I think they could get something maybe more safe in return
yeah.
for
What
Kobe.
did you have in mind for Kobe White?
So what I had, I think for Kobe White, let me pull this up really quick. I have to slide over. Okay, so this one, the picks is where I was a bit iffy on. I really wanted to make it's with the Houston Rockets. It
Okay,
is Dorian
I like that.
Finney-Smith, Clint Capella, a 2026 or second round pick, a 2021 first round pick, top 10 protected, and
Whoa.
then a 2028 first rounder
Whoa!
unprotected.
Whoa! Whoa! Is that three picks in there?
See that I didn't at the time I didn't realize Kobe was expiring, so that's why you have to take that's why I said I if you bet the picks, I don't like those
Whoa!
picks at all
Whoa!
in hindsight.
We are all the way over here on Kobe White right now.
Yeah,
Three
no, no,
picks in
no, but
this in this economy, Nate.
I think you undervalued him. I think I overvalued him.
Yeah, because I like Dorian Finney-Smith. I don't know if he still exists, if he's a real guy or not. I don't know what happened to him, but the idea of Dorian Finney-Smith, I like a lot.
I'd give up one protected first and a second though for Kobe. If I'm the Rockets, the Rockets have picks and they're not dying to have more young players that they
I
can't
think
play.
with the way Reed Shepard's been playing, I think I want to see what Dorian Finney-Smith adds before I just give up on him.
Yeah, it's not giving up on Reed Shepard. It's more so just
No, no,
getting
no, no,
Reed
no, no. I
Shepard.
meant giving up on
Oh,
Dorian Finney-Smith. I want to see
it's
because
not.
like I'm not dying necessarily like I was a couple weeks ago if I'm the Rockets about getting another
It's
guard. Kobe White
but
would be great, but I don't know if I'm just giving up on Dorian Finney-Smith without seeing him play
it's
first.
not giving up on Dorian Finney-Smith more so as it is just letting Tari Eason have his full,
Well,
amount of.
he's got to find his way onto the court.
Well, he's on the court.
Yeah, but he's played what 8 games this season.
Well, yeah, he came back against. He looked good against Sacramento until
I'm
he
just saying
left
he's never
Dennis.
been one to
Well,
really be
hold on.
consistently on the
He
floor
looked
either.
good against Sacramento until he left Dennis Schroeder wide open at the end of the game.
Yeah,
But I don't know. I feel like that the Rockets just have so much length, and they could use another guard who's just quick and able to get shots up. Like I like Amen. I talked about it with you though. His issue of just really not being able to create his own shot whatsoever.
hmm
That little Euro step he does to the basket almost every single time. It works sometimes
it's
because he's
becoming like the Siakam spin at this point.
yeah he's really athletic and he's able to finish a lot of the time. And just the shot is so bad. It hasn't improved at all. He's still a very good player, but he's very clearly at this point in time, at the very least, not a point guard. Reed is really their only option when it comes to having a guy that can actually play the point guard position. I think if you add a person like Kobe White, you have one of the better point guard tandems in the league potentially. You go from this is a dire need for us to wow, we're like rich in this area where if you get rid of Dorian Finney Smith, you still have other guys who can step up and do that same thing.
Yeah, I see it. But then if you're the Bulls, I also don't know if I want to trade for Dorian Finney-Smith without seeing him play. So that's where the
Yeah.
picks start to come in. But I like the
That's
idea
more
for sure.
so
Yeah.
they get the pick, they get a second round pick.
Mhm.
Um yeah, like the Rockets aren't going to be a top 10 team anyways, probably or a bottom 10 team
Yeah.
anyways next year, so it'll be probably a mid 20s pick.
hmm
I guess it's similar. The Lakers deal actually might be better now that I think about it, just because of that 2030 pick. But I don't think the Lakers or the Bulls would do it.
Yeah, because I
I
think
think
you
this
got
is
it.
more realistic. This could actually
Yeah, for
happen.
sure, for sure. Yeah, because including Io makes it really tough. I just think that's what makes it worth it for the Lakers. But that's probably
Yeah, the IO part is where it's a hard sell for me.
yeah, that's fair. But yeah, I like yours. I think Kobe White
I
for the
I
Rocket
just
makes a ton of
I
sense.
like the idea of Kobe on the Bulls a lot, so I flirted around with the picks. The for the two first rounders at first was an oversight. That's
Mhm.
not happening.
I thought you said three firsts at first, and I was about
No,
to.
no, I said a second, a protected first, and a first.
Okay, okay.
That was only
Yeah.
if the Rockets are willing to overpay. If the I wouldn't even be the most mad at it, as some people might be mad, because I think the Rockets have a chance to do something special this year if they add another point guard.
hmm
But they're very much in need of that position, and I thought Kobe's one of the best guys available. He's on a tradable contract. He's expiring. Yeah, I like the idea of Kobe White as a Houston Rocket.
Me too. No, I'm with that. I'm with that for sure.
All
I
right,
guess
so
I'll go to
yeah,
my
we'll bounce back to you, little ping pong.
So this one, I'm gonna get the three-teamer out of the way because this can be a little hard to wrap your head around,
Yeah.
especially on an audio-only podcast. But I'll try to keep it as simple as I
Well,
can.
I think I'm prepared for this one.
So I don't know exactly where we get the picks involved. We can decide. It's between the Warriors, the Spurs, and the Nets. With the Nets obviously being the ones getting the draft compensation here. But essentially, the Warriors are getting Michael Porter Jr. The Warriors are sending out Kuminga and Buddy Hield to the Nets and Moses Moody to the Spurs. In exchange for getting Moses Moody, the Spurs are sending out Jeremy Sohan to Brooklyn. So I think Golden State, San Antonio got to throw in probably a handful of seconds in there to really entice the Nets. But I think it makes a ton of sense. Obviously, MPJ would be a great addition to this Warriors team. Just give them some size, some legit size, and another scoring option. I think Moody is just an upgrade over Sohan at this point. Like I think they're kind of ready to move on from him. I think he would just be a better fit to plug in there.
So
And
the
then
Warriors are getting back MPJ, no one else, or some.
Jordan, yeah, they're getting Jordan McLaughlin as well from the Spurs
Okay,
for
Jordan
his
McLaughlin.
salary. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. See, that's like one of those three teamers where it's usually you look at a three teamer like that's probably not going to happen. Theoretically, this actually does make sense, and it's not the most unrealistic thing. MPJ to Golden State, I think, has been one of the most mocked trades probably of the past few days, weeks. He fits perfectly for what Golden State wants to do. He's a terrific shooter. Actually, I don't know what Golden State really wants to do anymore, so I'll just say he'd fit well next to Steph Curry, being another elite shooter, a guy who can replicate the shooting ability that Kevin Durant had alongside him.
and knows how
I'm
to
not
play
going to
off the
say,
ball too. I think is the
yeah,
biggest
and
thing.
MPJ is a guy who can put the ball on the floor, not a ton, but he's shown an ability to create his own shot somewhat efficiently in Brooklyn. He's not exactly the most efficient guy down the stretch. You don't want him going shot for shot with other guys late in the game, but he gives Steph Curry a legitimate guy to take the ball out of his hands and be a scoring threat, someone that can go for 35 plus in a night. I know Jimmy can do that, but when Jimmy's
I
scoring
don't know if Jimmy can do
35,
that anymore, man. I
Jimmy,
don't
okay,
know where
Jimmy's
he's
had
at.
nights where he's had near 30
Yeah,
though.
but I
Like,
just he just doesn't look the same to me.
no, he doesn't. But that's the thing is he puts up the numbers. He plays well. The analytics say he has a big impact on the games. It just doesn't feel like it because a lot of his points are from free throws. He
Mm.
does a lot of the dirty work for a player of his caliber.
But I mean, he's taken what 11 shots a game, Jimmy?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All the points are from the free throw line. He's
Yeah,
taken a ton of free throws. He has the highest percentage of his points from the free throw
12,
line of
12.
anybody in the league, which is a consistent theme pretty much every single year. I don't know if if for the Spurs to get involved. I know Moses Moody is definitely a better player than Sohan at the moment. The only thing I said is that I'm not sure the Spurs are going to want to help out the Warriors, but I don't know if the Spurs care enough. I just know that in the past, especially with like the Kawhi Leonard situation, there was a refusal to trade to Kawhi to any team in the West. The Spurs historically just don't like trading good players to
Yeah.
other Western Conference teams or helping other Western Conference teams get better. It's just kind of how the organization has been run historically.
Yeah, that's fair. But I think if you're the Spurs, you look at where you're at, you look at what the Warriors are at. I don't think the
Yeah,
Spurs
no,
really give a shit.
it's a valid point to be like. I mean, I really don't think that they
Because yeah,
might
I don't know
say
that
it
this
out of
doesn't really move
respect,
too many
but
needles. Like if you're the Warriors,
no,
it actually doesn't ultimately do that much. I think it fits a little bit better. But ultimately, like even if
I
it
think it
doesn't work
maybe
out,
adds
like
like
MPJ,
four wins.
yeah, maybe, yeah. And MPJ is still young. It's not like you're kind of like stuck if this
Well,
doesn't
yeah, and I
work
think
out. So
having Steph, actually, I don't mentor him. MPJ is a lost cause. Like
it's not even going down that path. But it wouldn't be
Steph's,
it wouldn't be a
I
bad
wouldn't
thing.
exactly call Steph a good mentor at this point either because we have not seen a single Steph like disciple or I mean Jordan Poole shit his pants after he left.
Yeah, Podzinski
Pods is
thinks of
awful.
Curry as his disciple.
Draymond is
Imagine,
still
yeah,
on the
Draymond and
team.
MPJ podcasting together. Maybe scrap this whole idea. What is your next
Actually,
trade? What's your next
no,
trade?
we cannot have this happen for like non-basketball reasons.
What do you got
This,
up?
oh my God. Hmm. I have one involved with the Nets. Let's go to your Celtics. I have a
Oh
Celtics and
no,
Nets trade here. And I didn't even love,
Nets
but I
trade.
kind of just wanted to say it for the purpose of getting your reaction to
Oh
it.
boy. Oh boy.
Um,
What do we got?
so this is the Nets trading Anthony Simons
Okay, I'm on
and
board so far.
a
Okay.
second round, a 2026 second round pick, and a lottery protected 2027 first, and then having it conveyed to seconds for Nick Claxton.
Okay. Remind me, what's
Because
the draft? Wait, say the draft capital again.
2026. So this year's second rounder, the best I think of Orlando, Detroit, or Milwaukee.
That sounds right.
And then next year's first lottery protected, which would then convey to 2 seconds.
If it were a lottery, which I don't see that happening. Ugh. I mean, don't get me wrong, Claxton's pretty good. I don't enjoy having Anthony Simons on the team.
The issue here is that Claxton does have $25 million per year owed to him over the next 3 years.
It's 3 years. Dang, I thought. Wait, so this year and two more?
Sorry, yeah, two more after this.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean,
But he's also not an untradeable asset if you
yeah,
do have him playing
I
well.
don't hate it. I actually think the Nets hang up
He's
first, if I'm honest.
really,
Yeah,
yeah.
because
I mean,
Ant
I get it.
Simons,
He's one of their only valuable players.
yeah, and it's like Ant Simons. Is that what we're, because then like a
Well, no,
Celtics pick,
then
like
they
that's
they
probably
free up
not going to
more
be great.
they free up more cap space, which they will use to sign players.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I don't know because I do think the version of the Celtics for next season that like is actually a contender. I think they turn Anthony Simons into a center who's like at least like Kata-ish level so that they have two like
That's what I was
starting-ish caliber
thinking
guys.
is you can have Kate off the bench and still play him like 20 plus 20-ish minutes
Yeah,
a
play
game.
him his same
And
24
the thing
minutes.
with Claxton is he's also a good passer and he can move fluidly, which is something that the Celtics like out of their bigs, is someone that can at
Yeah.
least move within their offense, even if they're not a shooting threat. I don't hate the idea of Claxton on the Celtics, but I do think there's a world where the Nets are also hesitant to give up one of their only players who are worth anything at all.
Yeah, I honestly, yeah, I think the Nets hang up first. I really think they do because Simons just hasn't really looked like much of a good player this year. Like he can still shoot, and that's cool, but he hasn't like at least when he was with the Blazers, he would have moments, and I know obviously he had the huge usage, but like there were stretches where he would like take over the game and really run the offense. Simons doesn't do that in Boston. Like he'll hit some shots, he'll space the floor, run a couple pick and rolls, whatever,
You don't
but
think that's just a complete loss of confidence from having so much
well,
expectations on him for the
whatever it
first
is,
time?
it's clear that they're better off going and trying to get another center instead of keeping Simons around. And then I think you do like rather than going with like Luca Garza as your backup center, you go with whatever the equivalent is as your backup guard, as your third guard behind Pritchard and White. I think that
Ariel
would be a
Hukporti.
better path. Would you say?
Ariel Hukporti.
Add point guard, yes.
Pardon my lobotomy I got yesterday.
All right, I'll go to my next one. That was
You
good.
can
You
get
got
us
a Celtics
going.
trade and you didn't piss me off. That was impressive.
That
All right.
I was I was hoping I'd piss you off, but
So here I got kind of a double whammy. We already talked about one of these before the
double
pod, and
whammy.
you weren't really a big fan of it. So I'll just kind of pivot to the other one if I can't sell you here. But I'm looking at I'm gonna call them my Portland Trailblazers. They're kind of a little bit of a slump right now.
Known
Got off to
Portland resident Dion Sherman.
yeah, they're but anyway, they're off to a little bit of a they're off to a pretty good start. They're in a little bit of a slump right now, particularly I think on the offensive end. It's just not a lot of seasoning in the offense. Like they're really just kind of lacking someone with a little
They're lacking
dynamism,
Drew
if you will.
Holiday.
They are lacking Drew Holiday, that's for sure. Scoot as well, but I just think they could use just one more off-ball scorer to kind of grease the wheels a little bit. Like Shaden
Okay, then
Sharp is
who
kind
is
of like their
it?
only wing creator. So headed on south from Portland over to the wonderful land of Sacramento.
Terry Rozier.
No, we can talk about Terry Rozier at the end because he's kind of obviously in an interesting position. But I think Malik Monk would be a good fit on this Blazers team. And the Portland Trail Blazers have about $25 million in dead salary sitting around in Time Lord and Matisse Thybulle. So I think you throw a pick in there. They got a couple extras. Put some protections on it. But I think a protected first. Time Lord and Thybulle, at least in theory, are good defensive players if they're on the court. The Kings obviously not a great defensive team. So I think the genius that is Vivek, I think he might convince himself.
Every time you say his fucking name, I just lie. Not because of his name, but just like he's so stupid.
Yeah, so maybe he'll convince himself that adding two quote unquote defensive minded players and getting a pick would be a smart move. That's kind of my rationale for the Kings side of things. But for the Blazers, I think just turning two guys that you can't rely on to actually contribute for someone that would really just add like a punch to their offense.
Yeah, I just don't want to give up a first round pick from Malik Monk. Oh my
That's
voice crack.
that's fair,
Oh
but
my God,
you put some
Monk.
protections on it, or maybe you give up. I forget exactly what do they have exactly for picks. Let me
I
pull it up
just
here.
don't want to give. Yeah, man, I don't know. I really feel
They have
bad
their
about
own. They
giving
have
up a
their own. They
first.
actually don't have one this year. I think it goes to the Bulls, but
Even with Kobe White being like an expiring guy, I'd rather give up a first for him and then just extend him. I like the idea of Malik Monk on the Blazers. I just would not be willing to give up for an unprotected first. It'd have to be like lottery protected.
that's
Yeah,
fair.
maybe even top 20 protected because yeah, I think top 20 protected would you'd have to do for me, especially if you're giving it up like in the next few years when the Blazers can still use their first like they're not at the point where their first rounders aren't as valuable to them.
That's
Scoot
fair.
still hasn't proven he's a legit rotation player. They drafted Hanson Yang this year, which is a complete waste of a pick. Basketball wise, financially, I understand that it's probably made them more money than any other guy would have at the 16 spot. I think I am hesitant to give up the pick. If they can get Malik Monk in another way with that trade, with that deal, I'd be willing to do it.
Yeah, I don't know how they get there otherwise, but
Yeah, probably not. I mean, unless the Kings are just like, give us Drew Holiday and we'll give you something else and salary. I don't
probably
know.
want to dump like DeRozan at that point.
They just like old players. I was just thinking of the oldest player I could have named.
But if you don't like that one, what about Time Lord and Matisse Thybulle for Nikola Vucevic? Bulls would be going into a tank, I think, if this was the move. But um,
Time Lord and Thibault. Where the hell is Vooch playing off the bench?
I mean, yeah, probably to be honest, split with Klingon. Klingon's kind of inconsistent though too, so like he's not going to be available all
He
the
is
time.
inconsistent, but he's young and you have to play him and let him battle through those
No, but I meant like
inconsistencies.
he's just in and out of the lineup a lot. So like I think you make it work. To be honest, they just kind
All
of split
right.
duties.
I don't hate that actually in I guess a perfect world where Denny's a guy who likes to crowd the paint or likes to slash the paint a lot. If Vucevic can
Hmm.
even step, I mean, Klingen's tried to shoot this year and
Yeah, I think it
he
might
has.
happen in time. It might.
Yeah, I think that's not the worst trade. I think I like that better than the Malik Monk one where they're not giving up a first, especially with Vooch. That's a low risk, potentially decent reward. So I don't hate that.
Yeah, I
The
think
Bulls get
it's
rid of Vooch and they finally can. I mean, Vooch probably wants to do bad things to himself
yeah, he probably
based on how
wants
he
to leave, to
looks.
be honest. So I don't know that, like I think Bulls fans would be upset at the value here, but I could see something like that happening.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Vooch asks for a trade finally, like behind closed doors.
Hmm. I wouldn't blame him. What do you got next?
All right, so I guess we'll go to the we'll do the next trade that I have up next. This is one of the deals I actually really like, and I think this is a fair trade. I think maybe we can discuss the picks,
I'll
but
be the judge of that.
all right. So we have Sadiq Bey, who is on a 6.5 million, or he's making $6.1 million over the next two or this season and next for Garshan Yabusele,
I know.
who
Yeah.
is a salary filler, but giving up Pacome Dadier, who is
Oh
a former
my
first round pick,
God.
and then giving them up two second rounders. So a
So
2026 second and Boston or Washington holds the rights to swap or a 2027 second round pick. I don't think Sadiq Bey has a ton of value, and I don't see a ton of teams offering anything to the Pelicans, who pretty much have no leverage against any team in the league.
I hate this deal. I hate it. And let me tell
Why?
you why. Let me tell you why. And because it points to a larger thing that I hate that I want to talk about. Because Sadiq Bey has been mentioned a little bit, but the two big trade candidate targets, whatever you want to call them, for the Pelicans for some reason have been Trey Murphy III and Herb Jones. Two players that obviously pretty much every single team would love to have, which is exactly my point. Why would the Pelicans trade these guys? Like, what benefit does it give the Pelicans, who don't own their own first round pick, as we all know? What does that? What does that really do? Like, why not just keep the players that are actually playing well for you right now and try to build forward with that? I'd be looking to dump Zion as fast as possible if I'm the
I think
Pelicans. I'm not
I
trading my
don't.
actual good players.
You're getting a guy who was drafted in the first round last year.
All right, don't try to actually
No,
sell
no,
me
I'm
on
not.
Pacome
You're
Daddy.
saying that like he wasn't drafted. Like, he has nowhere to play in New York. He has somewhere to play in New Orleans.
He was a reach at the 25th pick. I don't know that you can kind of bundle him in as some like actual first round pick. I'm sorry. I'm not
Okay,
buying that.
fine. You know what? You can. Hmm. Is there any other way to make this work?
I don't know that Tyler Kolek does much for the Knicks or for the Pelicans. So I don't know.
Yeah, probably because they have fears.
Yes, I don't know how you get there. Um, yeah, I just think the Pelicans should be looking to trade Zion if there's any takers out there. Other than that, I'm building with the guys I got. I like this group that they have. I know that they suck. They're definitely a bad team right now, but I wouldn't be looking to make it worse for like future draft capital. Like I know, what's his name?
But he's
Troy
on
Troy
an
Weaver has like good draft history, but like I'm not.
he's on an expiring after like he's expiring after next year.
Yeah, so you got him for next
They're
season. I
not.
would just keep. You can trade him next year. I would just keep rolling if I'm the Pelicans. I would try to move off of Zion if I could. But other than that, like, why are we trading good players to like further out the timeline? I don't know. I would just keep what I had if I
Further
was the
out the
Pelicans.
timeline, there is no timeline there.
That's what I'm saying.
They
So
have
why are
no,
we just
their
like
draft capital sucks. They should, second rounders still have value in today's league.
not from the Knicks? They're more likely to get taken for tampering than they're actually going to get a good player out of it. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I don't like it for the Pelicans. I'm gonna say stay pat if you're the Pelicans. Trade Zion if you can, but other than that,
It's gonna happen.
just roll. Um, but I like that you're trying to make the Knicks better. I just don't think that's the one. I don't know who bites on Yabu. I just don't.
I think it's gonna happen. And when it happens,
All right.
you'll
Well,
have
since you went with the
the
Knicks one,
Gumbo brothers. You
I'll
have the
toss out my
Gumbo
Celtics one.
brothers.
Yeah, okay, sure. I'll toss out my Celtics one. It's one of the trades of all time. It's not really that exciting, but shipping out Sam Hauser to the Orlando Magic, who desperately needs shooting, and getting back Goga Bitadze and maybe even a couple second round picks. What say you?
Well, you're not getting second round picks for Sam Hauser, but I think a straight up deal is fine.
All right, fair enough, fair enough. It doesn't do enough. The only reason why I think something like this wouldn't happen is because, well, I mean, plenty of reasons, but it only cuts like half of what the Celtics would need to get under the apron. Because I think it's
Actually,
like 10 million versus 7 million, something like
I
that.
think you would have, or the Celtics would have to give up a second rounder probably because Goga's the
Ooh,
better player.
really?
I mean, Sam Hauser's had a bad season.
No, I mean he started off bad like everyone on the Celtics, but
I mean, he's
he's
still
Sam
not been
Hauser.
great.
I think the expectation was guys like him would take a small step forward just like with the number of shots that would be available, and he's kind of been the same, I think. So disappointing maybe, but I still think Sam Hauser's the better player, I would
I
say.
mean, no, Goga's like, I don't know. I'm a big Goga guy. I'm a Gogurt. I'm a Goga fan.
You're a Goger?
I'm a Gogurt.
I mean, I like him too, and I think he like
Well, clearly you like him.
on a lower
Yeah,
tier than the Claxton trade. I think.
no. Sam Hauser is shooting 35, 36, 75 splits this season. You are not trading Goga. You're not like that is not getting you Goga. I think he's the guy who's probably a good shooter when he has open shots a lot and he can consistently get open looks when he has a guy like Jason Tatum, who has a lot of gravity. In Orlando, they have Paolo Banchero.
All right, coming back, before I give you, or actually, you're going to go up next, but before you go with your next mock trade, I want to ask you this because it blew my mind when I saw it. So, the Knicks are currently leading in NBA history. They are currently making the most corner threes per game of all time. I'll give you $1 million if you get the number right.
11.
Is 5.3.
Oh, I was gonna say there's no way.
Does that make no sense to you? We watch the NBA every
No,
single
no,
night.
but it
Five
feels
corner
right.
threes?
It feels right. Watch.
It feels so low. Five corner threes is the record.
Oh, yeah. No,
Yeah,
that
you
seems
guessed 11. Like
crazy.
that's kind of where I would have been at. 5.3, the most ever. PJ Tucker wasn't making five threes in the corner of a game on the 18. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
well,
Like
I don't think that if he was
no,
doing
well
that,
not
he would
PJ
have had
Tucker
the
alone.
all-time
Shout
record.
out to Behan. PJ Tucker over five made threes. 5.3 just seems so low to me. I was blown away by that.
Yeah, that seems weird. Like I would assume that per game, McHale and OG probably make 3.5 to 3.8 corner threes a game alone.
Yeah, it's
And then Brunson shoots a lot of corner threes for a point guard because that's where a lot of his
mm,
passes come from. Josh probably shoots a decent amount.
Josh shoots a
Cat
ton. He's not making a ton,
Cat's
but he's shooting a ton.
Cat, I think shoots the ball better from the corners, but he doesn't take the most. Yeah, that seems really low to me because if you told me how many threes from the corner do you, well, I guess 11 for the Knicks because that's how many I
Yeah.
actually thought that they make because it feels like they make like what 15 something threes a game. I forget the actual not. I'm not good at reciting numbers off the top of my head like
Mhm.
that, but yeah. So I would have guessed that over maybe not over half are corner threes, but we're like 40% are corner threes, but that
Yeah,
would not
five. That was crazy to me. So I just had to share that one. But what do you got next up on your mock?
I have my Lakers trade because what are mock trades and trade deadline talks without including the Lakers,
100%.
who are just every single time you come around to the Fanspo machine or not fans yeah Fanspo,
Hmm.
the Los Angeles Lakers have like four. Gabe Vincent is in the top three most
So,
traded players right
Gabe
now.
Vincent lives
That
on the Fanspo leaderboard.
yeah,
Oh man.
so we got a little bit of a white American NBA player for white American NBA player
Oh,
action
okay.
here, but that's not the main piece of the trade. So the Lakers would be sending out Dalton Connect and a
Mhm.
2032 second round pick for Doug McDermott and Keon Ellis because Keon Ellis doesn't even really play and his value can't be they can't have that high of an asking point, and at least they get back a young-ish guy who could shoot the ball. This is more so just the Kings getting some more draft capital, if you can even consider it that. This feels
Man.
just like a trade that the Lakers would end up making and
Yeah.
somehow getting away with.
Yeah. It's one of those ones because honestly, like if you come up with a trade and you kind of hate it for both teams, that's almost like a sign that it could actually happen.
Yeah.
And
Well, I
I
actually love
don't
this
hate
for
this
the
for the
Lakers
Lakers. I don't hate it for the Lakers, but
because
man,
honestly, at this point, Doug McDermott can probably do as much, if not more, than Dalton Connect would in those minutes, and then Keon Ellis is just like would be their best perimeter defender, even I think with Marcus Smart at this point, and he's
yeah.
also a 40% 3-point shooter.
Yeah, what a flop that would be for the Kings though. Like, can you
Yeah,
give
it
me
would be, but
something? Could
at
we
this
get
point,
anything else to entice me here from the Kings?
I mean, you can have another second round pick if you want. You
All right, all
you want to
right,
take 3 second round picks? I think I'd do that if I'm getting
all
Keon
right.
Ellis back.
Now I
I just
might do
don't
it
think he
because
has
yeah,
any
for some
value
reason he doesn't
because
really play anymore.
they've
So
killed any value he had because he was one of their undrafted younger players that was good on both sides of the ball. Mike Brown had a vendetta against him, kind of, which sucked. But then Doug
I don't know
Christie
that
came
it's
over.
gotten any better. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gotten. We expected. Oh, at least Keon Ellis will get more minutes. No, he
hmm
hasn't. And
It
Devin
weirdly
Carter's.
did. It weirdly did at first. That was like one of the biggest changes I noticed when Christie took over. But yeah, now he's just back to riding the bench. I mean,
And
I
it's
don't feel like
crazy
he's been
because,
as good. He definitely just hasn't been that great this season. But like, yeah, I don't get why he just doesn't play.
but I think Keon Ellis should be like target 1A for the Lakers.
That's fair. Yeah. I mean, yeah, for 3 seconds, might as well if you're the Kings. Why not?
And maybe like a wing defender too would actually be nice if they can get one of those instead. But I
Speaking of
think
wing
also,
defenders,
oh, I wanted
okay.
to talk about the Kings for a second because did you see the report that they're interested in Darius Garland? And can we just
I
talk about
bet
a
they
bigger
are.
problem for a
I
second?
mean, honestly, not the craziest thing because the Cavs are in dire distress right now. Like it is like DEFCON 1 over there. So for them to try and like, oh yeah, maybe we'll sneak in and steal Darius Garland, like that kind of makes sense for the Kings. But I don't like how do you get that
But
done? Wait,
but
wait, wait.
it's can we not notice the bigger problem at hand here with the Kings looking for another franchise point guard for the
Well,
17th
yeah,
time?
right.
And
The irony there, of course. But
like you
for them
drafted
to try
De'Aaron
to buy low on
Fox,
someone like Darius Garland, like that's what franchises like the Kings I think have to do.
you have De'Aaron Fox, who you draft, you then
Yes,
draft Tyrese
we
Halliburton.
know the story. We know the story. Yeah.
No, but then this offseason, like it gets worse. Like, I mean, can you talk about the situation where they signed Schroeder to $45 million a year over 3 years, and then you don't even play him? Russell Westbrook, who's on a minimum contract, ends up being the guy
Just
who
taking
takes
over,
his
dude.
role.
Has
And
just
now Russell
taken
Westbrook
over.
has basically made this his team. This is like Russell Westbrook's team right now. I think when you think of the Kings so far this season, the first person that pops into my head is Russell Westbrook.
You're
Am I
absolutely
wrong?
right. You're absolutely right. He has taken control of this team. Like it feels like,
And
2016
I'm not
Thunder-ish,
blaming
honestly.
him. It's more so just that's how pathetic this
No,
franchise
he's filled the
is.
void. Yeah, no, he's filled the void. It's not like I'm not saying he's like hijacked the situation. It's just there was nothing happening, and he's like, well, I'm just gonna do my Russell
Someone do
Westbrook thing.
something.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do my Russell Westbrook thing, and now here we are. He's starting for them. So yeah, I don't know. I don't. The
Schroeder,
Kings, man, it's so sad. They just went right back to being just miserable. They had a short run, but I have one to kind of wrap us up, and then
all right.
I'm gonna start to stray and get a little crazy after this one. But this is my last like realistic. I think it could happen.
All right, I got one more after
Involves
you.
two players, just a straight one for one swap here. One player that you really like for a player that I don't think you like that much.
No,
So I'm
that's
interested to
good. That's a good
see
sign.
interested to see where you land on this one. But I think just positionally, it makes a ton of sense for both sides. It's Jaden Ivey for Najee Marshall. Might be, my first initial reaction is that it's selling low if you're the Pistons because Najee Marshall is a pretty capped player as far as the ceiling goes, but I think he'd be a fantastic fit. I think he is kind of like that extra one more rotation player they might need. It doesn't look like it's going to be Jaden Ivey. And then if you're the Mavericks, just to get another ball handler, like not that Najee can't handle the ball, but someone more just like in the backcourt for that sense. I think the idea of Jaden Ivey, I think makes a lot of sense for the Mavs.
I hated it for like a brief second just because you said Jaden Ivey, and then I thought
Yeah,
about
yeah,
how
right.
the Mavs really could use another guard with Kyrie being injured and whatnot. And I don't hate the idea of Jaden Ivey getting like a real chance to be not a franchise cornerstone, but one of like the building blocks next to Cooper Flag. He's still
hmm
young enough where it's not a crazy thing, and we've seen that he's capable of being a very good player. I just don't really. Najee's a very good player, and I love Najee, and I think there's a lot of teams that could use Najee Marshall, and I don't think the Mavs are going to trade him at this point because of that, because they've talked about how they kind of want to be competitive from the looks of things, with Anthony Davis being back and Cooper playing like he's getting to the All-Star level player we thought he could be already. Um, I just where does he play? They have 17 small forwards and power forwards,
He'll just be one of the 17. I don't know. I just don't
and
think
I
Jaden Ivey's doing
guess
anything for them. It is kind of selling low, but at
I
this
just think they
point, I
could
don't
go
know.
trade Jaden Ivey for a player of a different position. I don't know, but I mean, I don't
I
hate
think he
it.
plugs in pretty well because they kind of need someone that's like I feel like all of their wings are
Tobias
kind of like
Harris, Ron Holland, Asar Thompson. Duncan Robinson, Karis LeVert. I mean, those are guys like all play like the same 2.5 positions.
I feel like you can slide Najee in there, and I think it'll
You
work.
probably could. I don't know if it's their biggest need. Like if you can get something else, even if it's the Najee like esque player, not exactly someone who's way better than Najee, but someone who might maybe another guard who actually can handle the ball a little bit that they were hoping Jaden Ivey would be when he came back. I think you might be able to trade it to him to a team
Yeah,
for even like a Colin Sexton, maybe. Like maybe the Hornets are interested in Jaden Ivey and they give up Colin Sexton, and however, if you can make the salary
I
work for
like that.
that,
I like that.
then you get a proven guard who's someone who can
Yeah, it's a
contribute
more
right
like
away, like the
actualized
Pistons
version of
want.
Jaden Ivey. Yeah,
Yeah, I think you have to find a team who can do a guard swap that wants a younger guy who they can take a chance on versus a win now player that's not really, fitting their timeline like Colin Sexton, where they thought they were going to maybe be uh, gunning for the playoffs, a young, hungry team that the Hornets have seemingly hoped to be for the past 4 seasons. And that just has not happened at all. So I think
sign me
going and
up.
getting a guy like Sexton also fits the MO of the Pistons.
Exactly.
He's
Sign me up. Yes,
aggressive. Yeah, I really like that. I think the more I talk
yeah,
about it right now, I didn't think about it
me too.
before this, but I really like
100%.
that.
Absolutely. I gotta make let me make the math work here because yeah, the more I think about that, Colin Sexton, I genuinely believe Colin Sexton on a good winning team would be like such a productive player. Like I
Oh,
really feel like I
I
could
think
see him winning a ring. Like I feel
I'm
like he's
going
that type
to
of guy.
I'm going to put it up right now if I can find it. I have a tweet I think from a month ago that said I really want to see Colin Sexton on a good team because he just is a guy who I really would like to watch in the playoffs. I think his aggressiveness, his demeanor, just he brings the 115% energy type of uh, vibe to a game where he's not Russell Westbrook, but he is very chaotic he makes things chaotic
It
and
works. The
he
trade
thrives
works.
from that.
Send it into the league right now. It works 1 for 1. Boom.
1 for 1. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think you can just do that and call it a day.
Do it. Call it a day. Shake on it and that's it. Yeah, I love it. Great idea. Forget Najee Marshall. Cool. You got one more for me?
Yeah, I do. So we talked about this one. I guess I stole this from you, but not really because I also gave it to
Ah,
you.
yes. Yeah.
So we're gonna go.
We collab that way.
I burped.
We're averaging like
Sorry
one
about.
burp an episode recently, I'm noticing.
No, actually, back-to-back episodes of the burp. So we're on a 2-game burp streak. Holy shit! Before we get into this last trade, I have to say something. Did you see what DePaul posted the other day? DePaul basketball
Oh God,
on
no.
Twitter.
B-ball
They
to
said
Paul.
they said something like, "Oh my god, I need to actually say what it said word for word because it was something like, what a streak to Paul." I wonder if they deleted it because it was really embarrassing. They posted, "Oh my god, come on, I have to find this shit. If I don't find, oh my god, yeah, now that's a streak fire emoji. 1,000 straight games of the made three dating back to 1992. Holy shit!" And then it was
What?
so the comments were like, "They did the possible." Like they
What?
posted a graphic for their team making a thousand straight games with a 3-pointer made, not a player, like 1,000 straight games as a team making a three. Like that's some big
It's
accomplishment.
making me
Shouldn't
think
that be the
like,
bare minimum?
yeah, like 1992 is a long time ago as far as three-point shooting goes, but yeah, I'm wondering like how
Still, it's
many like
1-3. It's not
yeah, it's
1970.
yeah, because it's not like they're the first
It's not like
school to
dating
ever do
back
that.
to when the 3-point line was introduced.
That would be pretty cool if they've just never gone a game without.
Yeah, but they haven't. It's just like DePaul basketball is like we're awful at everything. Here's this graphic about us doing.
Yeah, it only makes sense if they were like the first program to do that or something like that, but I have to imagine that's a pretty
I
common thing.
mean, it's the kind of graphic I'd expect the butt of the Big East to post, but
Yeah, fair
yeah.
enough.
Shout out Max Struess, I guess.
Shout out B-ball Paul Reed.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
DePaul Reed.
yeah, the Paul Reed.
All right,
B-ball to
all right.
Paul.
Let's get into this last trade really quick. This one is again between the Mavericks. I feel like we've been talking about them a good amount today. It is LeBron James. Sorry, sorry, he's not on. No, I'm just kidding. It is Klay Thompson.
Oh, that was
So
quite the downgrade.
yeah, not really. Klay Thompson, Caleb Martin, Jaden Hardy, and a 2031 protected or lottery protected first round pick for CJ McCollum. The first round pick is debatable for CJ McCollum, but at the same time, you're also giving up three guys who basically have no value, and they're taking on Klay Thompson's contract for the next 2 seasons. and you're getting back probably the best guard on the team, or easily the best guard of the team until Kyrie is back, and a guy who can also play with Kyrie when he's back. And CJ also expires, so you free up $30 million this offseason. That gives the Mavericks a lot of flexibility and a better chance to win and do something this season. I think it makes sense.
Don't hate it. Can't say that I love it. It is in that range of like trades that would actually happen. The issue, if you're the Wizards, one, CJ McCollum is actually a good, productive basketball player still at this point. You're trading him for three guys who I would say are not. So, as far as like the development of your young core, I think it takes a hit with this one.
Dude, they're
Record, like,
already
forget the record, throw the record to the
unbearable.
side. They're going to be bottom, whatever. But you talk about just like on a day-to-day basis, not that like Clay's like a bad locker room guy, but my concern would be like just removing the not only good veteran presence, but also like productive on the court so we can back it up. Like we saw what happened with Chris Paul. um, CJ McCollum actually still has that weight. So like pulling that away to a team that is just so rudderless already, I would be worried about. Plus, like you're adding the salary. Like you can maybe convince yourself that they gives you like you can trade these guys down the line because they still have years. But like you're just like adding years of salary when CJ McCollum's on and expiring. I don't know. Like the draft capital would have to really be there. And then for the Mavs, it's like, why are we giving up draft
I
capital
mean,
right
it's
now?
one lottery protected first.
Yeah, I don't know if that moves the needle for me. I mean, it's better than nothing, I guess, if you're the Wizards, because he's on an expiring. Don't exactly expect him to come back.
Jaden Hardy, you don't have to get rid of either because he's young. I don't like Jaden
Yeah,
Hardy, but
I guess, but then it just clogs up your backcourt as well with a bunch of young guys that I don't really like. So yeah, I mean, it's a trade I can see
also hold
happening.
on. In terms of being a single guy on a bad team, like leading the charge, I don't think Klay Thompson and CJ would be that much of a difference in terms of helping out the take pressure off the young guys.
Oh, come on, man. What?
No, CJ's a better player, but Clay's gonna still take like the same amount of shots. Like the efficiency is gonna be worse.
Yeah,
His
they're not gonna go
playmaking is
in.
gonna be. It doesn't, but he's taking pressure away from the young guys.
That's not taking pressure. That's putting
Yes,
more
it
pressure
is.
on them
He's
because he's
taking the
bricking
ball.
shots and they feel
He's
like they can't
taking the
give it to him.
ball away from the young
No.
guys.
No, because CJ is also
Anything
a
that
shot
takes the
creator.
ball, anything,
No.
anything that takes the ball out of Bilal Coulibaly and Bub
Oh.
Carrington's hands more is a good thing.
Well,
You have
okay,
Jaden
but
Hardy and Klay Thompson; they'll both do that.
no, I don't think so. I think CJ McCollum would have a much higher usage than those three guys combined, to
Yeah,
be honest.
probably.
So, yeah, I
But I
just,
also don't think it's not worth it to just get another first rounder. The salary thing, I think, it would be the biggest concern,
yeah,
but
because
it's
like you
also
want to get some sort of draft capital out of CJ McCollum. I honestly feel like you want to get some draft compensation back for taking on all that money too. So, I don't know because all in all, like CJ McCollum's
go
on.
trade Clay back to get the Warriors involved.
Oh
Call
my,
out, call out the
jeez.
send pods to the Wizards. Send Clay to the Warriors.
Oh
I think
boy.
everyone gets pissed off
Yeah.
and doesn't do the deal.
Pods would genuinely think that it would be his team.
Pods is like,
Like
this is the Podziemski trade.
this is like, yeah, finally, this is my time to
Who's to say
shine.
it's not his team other than Alex Sarr, I guess.
Alex Sarr.
Yeah, Alex Sarr. Well,
I think
fuck
that some
you.
of the guards would have something to say about him.
Kaishan George is also better than him. So is Corey Kispert still in the league? I know he's
I
still in the
honestly, I
league, but does
sneaky
he
think he could
play?
be a trade candidate. I think someone would like to get Corey Kispert.
I think Corey Kispert on a good team is a good player because he definitely can shoot the ball. We've seen that he can shoot the ball. He's just on an awful team.
Yeah.
The Pelicans just beat the Wizards. I mean, the Pelicans beat the Mavericks. So the
Okay.
Pelicans are now on like a 3-game win streak or something.
I'm saying, bro, why are we trading Sadiq Bey for the 58th pick? What are we doing? Just keep what you got. But
Sorry,
all
no.
right, so
Okay,
this
well
is
the Knicks are
where
gonna give up their first rounder this year then for him.
okay, whatever it takes. This is the part of the pod though where we start to stray into crazy land a little bit. We haven't really talked about star trades because, as we know now with this new CBA, it's pretty much impossible, especially during the season. So not a lot of star movement, but I will just say, my 2 cents on the whole Giannis situation. I think if any team's gonna make the swing for him, I think the Hawks make by far the most sense out of any team. The Hawks are kind of stuck, as we know. They like to just kind of hover around 500. They're destined for the play-in tournament. They're the type of team that I think it makes sense to just take the risk, even if you're not 100% sure he's going to stay. Like, they need to do something, I think, and they can get there without, I think, trading Jalen Johnson.
So what
I
is the
think the Bucks
trade?
would covet being from Milwaukee, but so the trade, if it were to be anything, I
Is
mean,
it
I think
Trey?
yeah, I don't really think the Bucks are going to have interest in that, but maybe if they do, then that makes it really simple. But
Oh
even
no, the
without,
Pelicans are on a 5-game win streak.
is it five straight?
Yeah.
Wow, look at them go, man. Um,
Derek Queen hype train. But anyways,
So yeah, so I think you can get there without Trey. With Porzingis is expiring. I think Risashe still would have some value. He's obviously not number one pick
dude,
worthy,
I
but
don't.
I think you take a swing on him, and then if you add Kennard, that gets you there salary wise. And then the Hawks have the Bucks picks. They have two of the Bucks picks, so it would allow the Bucks to have control of their own picks back as well by making this deal. And then I don't know. You want to throw in like Austin Newell? You want to throw in fucking Vic Krejci? I don't know.
Well, you're just
Um,
not. They're not getting a single good player back.
hey, I'm just saying. If any team's gonna make a move for Giannis, I think the Hawks
Yeah,
make the most
they
sense.
don't have. They can't. Like that's not
Yeah, it
the only
probably
way
they
was if
probably want like the Bucks
that
would probably have to want Trey Young for it to work.
for that package. Yeah, they either have to want Trey or Giannis would have to say, "I want Atlanta," which is the case for a lot of these teams. And Giannis is not going to do that. In fact, I think if Giannis gets word he's going to Atlanta, he would step in at that point and be like, "I'm not fucking going to Atlanta."
Yeah, I don't know, but I think the
I
Hawks
also
just
just don't think a Giannis trade is
no,
happening in
me either. Yeah,
season.
that's just why I wanted to throw the
I
Hawks.
thought it would have been the Heat until they just started shitting their pants recently.
Well, that's actually a good transition to talk about Terry Rozier because if his $27
Yeah.
million expiring is tradable, which the league for some reason just won't give clarification on right now, I think the Miami Heat could definitely be players at the deadline. Like I definitely think they're a team that could make a move. But it's just so hard to know. Like they don't have much else to cobble together without starting to like strip away their rotation. But $27 million expiring, I mean, that can
Would
get you
you
places.
trade Bam for
No.
Giannis?
Oh, damn.
Like if it only costs you like Bam and like one or two first.
I don't know what that does for the Bucks, but just to think about it hypothetically, yeah, I mean, probably, yeah, I think I don't know, because
I think
Bam,
the most feasible
I would
package was
consider
something
honestly.
around
Tell me if you
Hero.
disagree. I would consider Bam at this point to be like the face of the franchise more than Tyler Hero. So
I don't think that's I mean, yeah, is that a hot take?
I don't know. I feel like Tyler Hero is more famous.
He's more famous, but I think to people who know basketball, I think Bam is clearly the best player on
Okay,
the team
gotcha.
and
Yeah,
has
so
been.
to move him in a deal that I don't know necessarily makes them contenders. Like, yeah, the Heat are better than the Bucks in that scenario, but like, are they contenders? So I don't know that I'd do it for that.
I
But
also think that when you talk about teams realistic for Giannis, like the Spurs, I just don't think the Spurs are
no,
going to
I
do it. I
wouldn't
think
do it.
this,
I honestly just wouldn't do it if I'm the
yeah,
Spurs.
I think the Spurs have such a good young core that clearly all fits together right now that I wouldn't do anything to mess that up.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Same
Yeah.
with the Thunder, I wouldn't do anything to mess
Yeah,
that
right.
up.
All the teams we didn't discuss at all are just because I don't think those teams should really make trades for the most part.
Like
Like the
Boston
Nuggets,
isn't
Nuggets, I'm not making a move.
Boston's
Thunder,
not
I'm not
getting him
making a move.
unless they trade Jaylen Brown or like Tatum, and I
Oh, I
don't see
wouldn't.
that
No, I
happening.
wouldn't. No, I wouldn't do
Yeah, I
anything.
wouldn't mess with that. The only team I'd mess with potentially is like again if the
The
Knicks are somehow
Hawks.
getting him for Cat.
Well, yeah, sure. But I
Well,
think the Hawks would
again,
be a
they're
team. I'd mess
realist,
up the Hawks for
but
Giannis.
the issue is like I think the Knicks or the Lakers are the only teams where he'd be like, I want to go
Yeah.
here, and that way they could get him for a worse package. I think honestly the most realistic thing right now is probably something centered around Austin Reeves, and I fear that he's going to be a Laker.
Damn. Yeah. Maybe. But that's probably off season anyway.
Yeah.
Um.
Anyways, that was just
Yeah. I
I
just wanted to put
guess
my two cents in on the Giannis
our
situation.
little bit of sense into Giannis,
Now we're
but then
about
we're
to
done.
really get crazy though. Now we're
But
about
now
to
we're done
absolutely
talking
stray
about Giannis. Is
beyond.
the point is we're done talking about Giannis now until
Yes.
like any more until
Until
something
he plays
actually
again. I don't. I
happens.
no. We're not
Yeah.
mentioning Giannis on the pod until I see him
All
on the
right.
court, and we'll talk
Bye,
about how he
Giannis.
plays, and that's it. See you later, Giannis. Get well soon. But now we're about to stray into crazy land. I have two absolutely wild, not going to happen trades, but I just like the idea of them, just because I made them work on Fanspo, and I just want to hear your thoughts on them. I was looking at the Minnesota Timberwolves, team that we haven't talked about yet, because they're kind of stuck. They're not quite a second neighbor team, but they're pretty close, and they just got a whole bunch of big fat salaries at the top with a bunch of kind of nothing in the middle. So really hard to make a move for them unless you're really starting to break things apart. Now, Nate, if I were to ask you, what is like the biggest thing the Timberwolves could be looking for? What's kind of like their big weakness right now?
Point Jod.
Exactly. Yeah, someone to conduct the
Oh my
offense.
God, are you gonna do Darius garbage?
No, I'm not. It's probably worse. Who is a player who we think of as a great conductor of offense playing on a really bad team right now?
Chris Paul. Sorry. Um,
Close.
what? Oh, James Harden.
James Harden. So,
Harden.
what I propose, James Harden alongside one Cam Christie, not to be confused with Max Christie, to the Minnesota Timberwolves for Julius Randle, Rob Dillingham, and Terrence Shannon Jr. The money works. Tell me why no.
Absolute dog shit.
Tell me who hangs up first, though, at least. Tell me who you think hangs up first.
I think they both get like I don't who calls up first.
That's a good question. That's probably the better question. Um,
I mean, are they
I think the
built? If
Clippers.
they're
I think the Clippers
starting
are the
their
one picking
next
up the phone.
journey around Julius Randle?
I think that the rationale for the Clippers would be obviously this team is cooked, like it's over.
No, it's not.
The
They're
Clippers?
19-10. Oh, I thought you meant the
Yeah,
Timberwolves.
yeah. No, I'm talking about the Clippers rationale here. So they're cooked. It's over. It's as Jover as it's ever been.
Yeah, yeah.
Swapping, getting like just moving off of Harden. Getting like Julius Randle's still a very good player, and he's
Yeah.
still in his prime. So it would at least give you like just a higher, maybe not higher, but moving forward in the long term, just gives you kind of like a baseline level of competence with having Julius Randle. Are you building a title
Yes.
team around Julius Randle 4 years down
No,
the
yeah,
line?
yeah.
No,
That
but I think just for like the immediate long term, if you will, the next like
me.
3 years or so, I think
Yeah.
they're better off probably having Harden. You get to take the swing on Dillingham, maybe see because they'll be able to give him opportunity. They're not like drowning in point guards right now. And then I kind of like Terrence Shannon Jr. as just like a Kelly Oubre type of wing. So.
I
Um,
don't I don't hate that. And then you start Naz Reid.
That's what I'm saying because Nas Reed has obviously been dying for minutes for years now. So
Their bench would be really thin.
yeah, they would probably have to find a way to go get another big still
Their
for
bench
depth
would be
purposes.
so thin.
But
They don't
I
have a bat like you're throwing J into the fire, who I clearly
yeah, that's the
is
thing is
clearly
yeah,
not
yeah.
ready.
Yeah, they would need like
Rocco is not,
Rocco Zikarsky is not an NBA player right now. But I
yeah.
don't know, maybe they go like steal Jock Landale from the Grizzlies or something. He just had a career night the other day. Just like someone like maybe I
Gosh,
don't
why
know,
would they
Clint
trade
Capella off
him?
the Rockets, just somebody.
Yeah, okay, Clint Capella is like someone that I guess they could
So
go
yeah, it
get
probably
if
requires a second move, but I don't know, for like a crazy nonsense idea, I kind of like it.
I also, but I the idea of Harden and Ant sharing an offense to
Yeah,
me
that'd
is
either be
also
explosive.
fucking.
It'd be explosive one way or the other. I'll put it like that.
I think, yeah, I don't think it would go. I really, that's one
Yeah.
of the pairings I'm pretty confident would not go well.
It
So
would go
I'm gonna
well.
say
It
that
would
I
go
just,
well in the club though. Don't tell
well,
me
that's
they
what I'm
wouldn't
saying.
burn out together.
Could you have two more, off the court bigger like stars who were kind of off the court distractions at times?
Hey, maybe they cancel each other out. Who knows?
That's not how that
I don't
works,
know.
I don't
I
think.
don't hate it
But
though.
I don't
As like a
hate it.
2K trade, you know what I mean? Like I kind
It's
of like
not
it.
the worst thing, but I also just don't think either team is dying to do that. So I don't think
It's
it would
just
happen.
yeah, just fun to think about. And then I got one probably even crazier.
I
It's
think
it's
I
even
think
more
I like
tangible.
trying to do something more with sending Randall to like the Cavs I don't even know because
Yeah, I don't
they
know.
don't need a bit. Yeah, there's no way to send Jared out. I don't know. Darius Garland, I think trades are fun to talk about, but there's not a whole lot of realistic
It's
options.
tough because it has to be one for one with the Cavs.
Yeah.
So, but I have one more. Um, I've not shared this with you yet, but I had, dare I call it, a nightmare last night. I'm not gonna call it a dream because I didn't necessarily enjoy it. And I've kind of had, I think the reason I had the dream is because in my subconscious, I've kind of had this irking feeling that this would happen or this could potentially be a thing.
hmm
Something just smells. We were talking about the Pelicans and what I think they should do.
Did you change your underwear?
I did just shower, and it
Okay.
still smells. So,
All right.
but I just have this sneaking suspicion that if Zion's were to get moved, I think the destination is going to be the Hornets. I don't know. Like, don't ask
Poop.
me why. Don't ask me where I got that from. It just popped into my subconscious and it's been creeping there, lurking, molding
For
in my
LaMelo
brain
Ball, is that what you're
for
gonna
a while.
say?
Not even for LaMelo Ball. All it would take is Miles Bridges and one of Grant Williams and Josh Green because that would make the salary work. One of those two guys. I don't know why this has been sitting in my brain for days now, weeks even, but I don't know. Put some thought behind it. I don't like. Am I crazy?
Well, are the that would tell us whether or not the Pelicans are a moralist organization if they trade for that guy.
Well, fair enough.
I don't like to talk about him by name.
I mean,
I
I
mean,
don't know that the Pelicans
that
necessarily.
guy puts up good numbers, but that guy is also not a good human, and he's also not conducive to winning basketball at all. He would probably stunt the growth of guys like Derek Queen and even Sadiq Bey right now. I'd probably just rather have on my team than that guy.
Hmm. But I'd rather have Sadiq Bey over Zion, maybe too.
But I would rather just not. I'd rather just have Zion not playing or whatever for right now, and just
I
wait
just feel
till his
like I don't know. I feel like Zion is just like holding the Pelicans hostage
The
in so many
big
ways.
issue is that guy. I don't want that guy to go back to New Orleans, and if I'm New Orleans, I don't want that guy back in India.
The only team that I think that guy should really play for is probably like the Jazz. Like just banish him to Utah or maybe Washington.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Something just tells me Zion to the Hornets is like
I
going
just
to
say
happen.
I think the biggest or most realistic Zion destination is LA. I think if any team or not the Lakers, the Clippers, if any team is in dire need to take a shot on a somewhat young guy who's had issues so far in their career, I think that the Clippers are the team to probably do that.
Well, that's why I gave him
Um,
Julius Randle. There you go.
what?
I don't know, just athletic power forwards. I
Oh,
don't know.
so after they don't have Julius Randle currently.
I know, but that's why I mocked the Harden to Randall thing, right?
Oh,
So
okay, okay. I get it
it's all
now.
right.
Funny joke.
It's
Haha.
getting late. It's
Anyways,
getting
it's
late.
getting late. I'm gonna pass out anyways.
Yeah,
So
I think we'll
good
wrap it there.
night.
We're talking about Zion trades. I think it's time. But yeah, that has been our mock trade episode. And we'll be back. We have something planned for Christmas. We got something kind of lined up for you. So stay tuned for that on Christmas Day, and then back to regular programming after that. But thanks everyone for listening. Make sure to subscribe to the pod. It definitely wakes Nate up here at the end of the podcast, and share it with all your friends. And other than that, just follow us on all socials at 2for1hoops. And I hope everyone has a great holiday. Merry Christmas to all. And
Happy
to all,
Hanukkah.
good night.